Fuel prices are seeing an upward push amidst the ongoing conflict in West Asia. Nayara Energy, India's largest private fuel retailer or private fuel seller, has hiked petrol prices by 5 rupees per litre, and it has also hiked diesel prices by 3 rupees per litre, passing on a part of the sharp rise in global crude oil prices to the consumers in India. The decision coming after international oil prices surged nearly 50% since late February following US and Israeli strikes on Iran and the subsequent escalation in the region. The spike in crude oil costs has put significant pressure on fuel retailers, especially private players who do not receive government support to absorb those losses. Nayara Energy, which operates nearly 7,000 fuel stations across India, has become the first major retailer to revise rates, while other private players like Jio-BP have so far held prices despite mounting losses. Meanwhile, state-run oil marketing companies like Indian Oil Corporation, Bharat Petroleum Corporation Limited and Hindustan Petroleum Corporation Limited continue to keep retail petrol and diesel prices unchanged, maintaining a freeze that has been in place since the April 2022, nearly 4 years ago. Officials say private retailers have little choice but to raise prices as they are not compensated for losses, unlike state-run firms which are supported for maintaining price stability. Now, these developments come as global oil markets continue to remain volatile, with supply concerns linked to tensions around the Strait of Hormuz adding to the uncertainty. While premium fuel and bulk diesel prices have seen selective hikes recently, the price of regular petrol and diesel for consumers remains unchanged in most parts of the country for now. We have my colleague Shweta Kothari now joining us live from our newsroom for more on that. Shweta, talk to us. Nayara Energy hiking prices, the largest fuel retailer in India. Talk to us about the impact it's set to have on the people.
Krishna, it's important to point out that this is a private fuel retailer, but the largest one in the country, which essentially means it operates about 7,000 petrol and diesel pumps in the country, all of which will now dispense fuel, both petrol and diesel, at a higher price. Price of petrol has been upped by 5 rupees per litre. Diesel is now up by 3 rupees per litre. That's as far as Nayara is concerned. Also important to point out that all the other state oil marketing companies, including HPCL, BPCL, continue to give petrol and diesel at prices which are similar to 2022. But this is the first such big impact of the war in West Asia and the choke on Strait of Hormuz. Remember, about 6 Indian vessels have passed through Strait of Hormuz, but there is a considerable pressure on India's energy supplies, both crude and gas. So far, India has tried to diversify its sources. Earlier, we were importing about 40% of our crude oil needs from the Strait of Hormuz from the Middle East. India has tried to diversify to the other region, but we are feeling the pangs as the crude prices have surged by nearly 50% in the last 25 days.
The only other question to be asked at the stage, Shweta, is this: will other state-owned fuel retailers follow suit?
Not really, Krishna, because the signal coming from the government is that they don't want to pass the pressure of higher petrol and diesel prices on to retail customers. The government has maintained categorically in several briefings to the media that the prices of both, crude, petrol and diesel will remain constant in days to come from here. And that is as far as state oil marketing companies is concerned, which own a majority of petrol pumps operating in this country. There are about 100,000 petrol pumps throughout the country. 90% are owned by state-run companies. And the prices of petrol and diesel through these state-owned companies will remain constant in days to come. However, we never know if the prices increase globally, the crude prices increase globally from here on, and if the blockade of Strait of Hormuz continues or the Iran war spills into further weeks and days, there could be pressure building up. But the government is very clear right now that retail prices of both petrol and diesel will continue to remain stable.